Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Farm Sim 19, Last Frontier, episode number 16. We got 16,370 canola out of our 26 North harvest. We're going to go ahead and top the trailer off. And we're going to take this to the store and find out what that'll pay. It will certainly be enough to come back with the tractor. So we'll do that much and then have two tractors, which will be nice. From there, it's time to 26 North and South cultivate plant. We've already cultivated 26 South, and we've already seeded 26 South. So 26 is good. We'll need to drop some herbicide on that later after the first growth phase, but otherwise the work will then come down to 26 North. And with two tractors, things should go a bit faster. I admit, I do find it nice to not have to worry about checking prices, just selling. That's one nice thing about not playing with seasons. Alright, there's that 270 threshold we needed. We've hit 280. 284. Alright, that's a good little chunk of money that we could definitely do something with. But what? Well, we got a 7R, 238, but I was looking at kind of the 270s and above into this heftier zone, 320 horsepower for a New Holland. $350. That's nice. Except for we don't have that kind of money, do we? It all jumps up. So there's two in our range. It's the New Holland or the Fendt. Fendt goes a little bit quicker, but it has less horsepower, 320 horsepower for the New Holland. Looks like probably the way we're going to go. Do I want to commit to that one? Heftier engine upgrade, extra 60 horsepower, 30,000. Okay, 57,000 will put you to 435. Okay, what about wheel setup? Wheel weights, wide tires, twin wheels, rear twins. Crawler tracks. Okay, so we can get crawlers on here. 20K later on. I think we'll go with the standard for now. Alright, there we go. We have our second tractor finally, and it is a massive, massive upgrade from the old rundown Fendt that we have. So, New Holland, welcome to no man's land. That's a big tractor. Oh, let's see if I can remember the keys for follow me, and I don't. And my cheat sheet is in the other room still. I forgot to move that over as well. I moved out of my office. I'm sure you noticed plenty of times the sound of children. The daycare downstairs is right underneath my office. While I liked having an office, I decided for your sake and mine to cut out the noise, and I actually moved my setup into my living room where I don't hear a thing anymore. But I've also forgotten what button to use. Let's figure that out real quick. You're not even showing me. Seriously? Okay, here it is. This gamepad. It's my Thrustmaster, and follow me is going to be way down at the end of the list. Nope, that's manual attach. Okay, I think I got it. Yay, okay. Oops. Stop following me. Or maybe I should just drive straight and not worry about it. Can I see him behind me? Not quite. Distance is a little too far. But looking on the minimap, he's following me just fine. So first things first, when we get back, we're going to need to drop that trailer and then head up to 26 North. I got to figure out which one requires more power, the seeder or the cultivator. I'm assuming it's the seeder. It's a little bigger. It's doing two things at once. Oh. Oh. Quite where I thought I was. Really hard to get the most accurate of views down here. There we go. Alright, let's just drive on over there. We don't need to use follow me when it's right around the corner. Oh, wrong button. Wow. Just wondering why that wasn't working. Alright, now I'm going to get a little head start here. I do think that the seeder is a little wider, so it's going to take at least one trip around. Before we get the maximum out of that. Alright. Let's go ahead and set up course play on here. I didn't load my course. Where is the course? There it is. Let's see, I think it was 9 with the cultivator. Smooth corners is fine. Save you some time. Yes, yeah, that's good. Alright, so he's off and running. Though, like I said, he's going to have to at least finish the first headland before I can get started. Wow, look at how much he's missed already. I can already see. Say I'll have to decide what to plant, but I think I already sorted that out. We're doing barley, I believe. Yes, yes we are. So I can plant myself down in this corner, except I've got to give room for the cultivator to get around. Speeding up time won't do any good either. I just need to wait. So I'm going to go ahead and let him make a couple passes, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Alright, so I've allowed it to take, what, 3, 4 headlands now? Gives us a decent deficit. It won't actually even take us very long to cover, but better, faster tractor. Seeder works quicker. Has a wider path. We'll catch up relatively quickly. But between the two, the other tractor cultivating and this one seeding, we will definitely, I'm going to go ahead and fill that gap right there. We will definitely be able to do the entirety of the field much faster than what we've been used to. I would love to upgrade the cultivator probably next in terms of equipment, but it might be more advantageous to purchase 27 first. Once I've purchased 27, I can cash in on that, which immediately has that profit. But at the same time, compared to the farming aspect, the mowing grass, making silage is a better profit structure than what you get out of the farming aspect, a much better profit. So it actually might make more sense to focus first on equipment upgrades in that department. We've doubled the capacity of everything by adding in a second tractor, so that's fantastic already. It's a great start point. It's going to make life much quicker, easier as we go through and do what we need to do. So I think the quicker money, easier way is definitely going to be 27's next, and then I'll look into what sort of upgrades are necessary for our grass harvest to really streamline that. The 2 tractors will already streamline that quite a bit because we can use follow me on the smaller tractor while this one's mowing. The smaller tractor can have the windrower right behind it on follow me. We're rolling through seeds pretty quickly here. We didn't start full for one thing, but you can see how quickly we're catching up to the cultivator at this pace. Then of course at some point the cultivator is going to run into that issue of the rocks and we'll have to finish it out regardless. But still, they're both working at once, and that is going to have a positive impact. Turning around the way I am, I think is actually helping. It is helping the other tractor, which is set up on smooth turns, is actually gaining on me. Which again is good, as it's not covering as wide of an area as I am, so the fact that it could lap me is a good thing. Of course, by now it's already experiencing shorter laps as it works in. Of course, technically I do that too. For every lap I complete, moves me a little closer. And I'm going to have to fill up on seeds actually fairly early. So we're down to 21% already. After just 2 headlands, that's a little worrying. That's going quite quick. Now, if we're going to have to plow soon, that actually might be the first piece of equipment I upgrade is the plow. It's cheap technology compared to others. It's just slow and skinny compared to everything. So that actually makes more sense to me than a cultivator, even though I use the cultivator far more often. The plow is just so tedious. So tedious. She's almost caught up to me. Just ahead of the other tractor at this point. Also down to 3% on the barley, which means this corner is would be the wisest stopping point, even though I still have a tiny amount of seed left. But this is the closest corner to where we need to go, and we have 3 seeds left in there, so that is not going to be suitable. So I'm sure that YouTube, especially recently, gives you random videos to tune into from time to time that you wonder why. Why would you have this video suggested? And then, you end up clicking on it anyway. And but then you find it interesting when you end up watching it. Well, I got one of those recently. And I know where kind of the suggestion came from. I got one of those random videos, and it took me to a slot car track of... actually, what do they call it? Race tracks? So the scale tracks, there you go, scale tracks of Monte Carlo. I'm an F1 fan. I watch a lot of videos related to F1. And so it makes sense that there's, that loose link that brought that one to my feed. And after having seen that one, I've been occasionally getting other similarly related from the scale tracks to now it started feeding me a couple slot car videos. Just yesterday, I ended up checking one of those out because it had an interesting concept behind it. That one being, it was doing a 24-hour of Le Mans video. And I liked that concept. A 24-hour slot car race. That's intense. That's hardcore. Now, the only reason why that piqued my interest, besides that being an intense challenge, was I did slot car as a kid. Haven't done it since I was probably 14, 15 years old, so it's been a very, very long time since that was a part of my life. It's been over 20 years. More than 20 years. As I just got lapped again. Yeah, man. Alright, anyway. It was interesting. And I actually ended up watching almost the entire video, which was not 24 hours, no. It was basically an hour summary of the 24-hour race. But it was actually kind of neat. Just cool concept. And yeah, that was my random YouTube feed, which I'm sure many of you are getting more and more of those as you are home in quarantine. And whoa. Oh, okay. You are done with your headlands. You're starting to make your way east and west. Strange way to turn around. There you go. I'm going to have to take over at some point, and actually I don't think that's terribly far away from now, due to the fact that, at least in the past, your back and forth east-west, every time it does something in an odd way, like it is right now. It's reversing. It is reversing because the field, it's trying to square the field off. But in that weird reversing and squaring the field off, it ends up putting two rows close together. But then the third row is where the third row should be. But because two rows are close together, it ends up leaving a gap between every second and third row. And then you've got two rows close together again, and then you got a gap, and then two rows close together and a gap. So it's been closing it up too much and then opening it up too much as a follow-up to that. Which ends up leaving me having to go back and redo every other row once we get to this point. And if I want to be able to seed that, I'm going to end up having to recultivate myself. And that's going to happen here pretty dang soon because there's not much left to go on our coverage, even though we certainly lagged behind. The general pace and the width made the difference. Yeah, there you go. You can see it now. There's the gap. So we already have one of them. So at least the cultivator does, the course plate does knock out half the field for me. It certainly saves me time. Big field, small equipment. single player. It's a little problematic. So considering we've already collected our money for the day, it'll be tomorrow. Actually, makes me think I should start speeding time up a little bit. It's 2:30. Only slightly, though. Tomorrow's grass harvest should bring, well, yeah, it should be at least 100,000. So that should bring in enough money to buy 27 in the morning and do the same thing on 27. So we'll double the grass harvest out of that. Too close. This will be that last row before I take over for the cultivator. But yes, I think tomorrow will be our day to buy 27 and expand that direction. And we'll have dual grass harvests. So we should have minimum 200,000 coming out of that. But subtract 85 for the field purchase. Stop. You can see just how far off we are lined. Let's go ahead and close that. Since we are more or less lined up for this, let's go ahead and line up properly and then do this row. And then I'll go back, get the two missed sections, which amounts to about one row. And then at this point, I might as well just stick in the vehicle, do the harvest myself, and then do the rest of the seeding myself. But either way, the course play has helped. Having two vehicles has definitely helped. Okay, that was enough. We got it. And that'll make 25, 26 both ready to go for the next harvest, with the exception that I will need to spray some herbicide before it's done. I do absolutely need to buy a sprayer, fertilizer spreader here at some point, so that we can increase the yield on these fields, which obviously aren't netting us a whole lot of money, and that's part of it. We definitely aren't doing all that we can to get the most out of these fields, though it's been getting better each harvest, though it won't get better on this next one, with that exception of that blue thing right in front of us, just to speed the process along. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up off camera, both the cultivating and the seeding. Spraying only takes a second, so I'll probably do that off camera as well. And that'll finish off the day. So I'll see you next, assuming in the morning, as we prepare. Oh, come on, I missed it again. I am trying to squeeze a little too much out of the cultivator right now. Helps if we put the camera angle just to the other side where you can actually see the edge. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.